going to town today, and I thought I'd do a little video on prepping when you're going on the road. It's great doing those videos on prepping when you're at home, but I feel that you can't always stay at home. So prepping for on the road is also just as important as prepping for your house. And today what I'm going to do is go through the outside of my truck that I have and the job box that I carry all my prepping supplies for SHTF to happen on the road and with the vehicle. This will be a two-part video. Today I'll be concentrating on things that you need for your vehicle and getting around with your vehicle. The second half of the vehicle or the video will be for things that you need for yourself and the things that you carry on the inside of the vehicle. So let's get to this now. The first thing I'd like to touch on is everyone's situation is going to be different depending on where you live. Now, this video is going to concentrate more on if you're living out in the country, rural areas, out in where you're not going to see people for a while. And it's important to carry certain things for these situations. Now, the first thing is we are in a heavily wooded area, and sometimes you'll get a good windstorm coming through. In the winter, a lot of snow can come down way down the trees, and sometimes you just can't get around on the roads because you have trees knocked down and blocking your path of travel. And so the first thing out here I would recommend would be a chainsaw. And you always want to make sure that you keep a nicely sharpened chain on it first off, and a backup chain just in case something happens to this one. And that's kind of what I carry on the inside of the truck, so that'll be on the next video. I also like to keep the chainsaw fueled up, that way I'm not fiddling around with it on the road trying to fill it up, put oil in, put gas in, because in these situations out here, you just kind of want to go and get to your destination. Last thing you want to do is start messing around with fluids. So a nicely fueled up chainsaw. Make sure everything's working properly. Start it up before you hit the road, just so that you know that it does start, and if there's any issues you can address it before you hit the road. Also, on that note, you can take just the chainsaw on its own. However, I like to also take a little milk crate here with extra fuel, extra bar oil, and I also like to carry the tools that I need to access the chainsaw for any repair. So a socket with a 9/16 socket on it, a flathead screwdriver, that basically gets me into this chainsaw anywhere I need to fix something. Say the chain fell off, or I need to check the oiler, tension on the chain to adjust the bar. Any of those things I can do with those two tools, so it's important to bring those with you. Now, if you don't want to take a chainsaw with you, and or you don't have a chainsaw with you, the next best thing, and some people actually prefer this, is an axe or a hatchet, depending on what your preference is. Now, this is my little bushwhacking axe that I take. It's actually was used for taking out some chickens that we were processing not too long ago. So if you haven't seen that video, you can check that over here. So some people prefer to take an axe with them rather than a chainsaw, and that reason is because a lot of people don't like to the chainsaw leaking in their vehicle if they're carrying it in their vehicle. I, on the other hand, keep it in a job box. The other reason people like to carry an axe is they don't have to worry about it breaking down. Make sure that it's nice and sharp, and as long as you can go, the axe can go. Now, depending on how fast you're in a rush, this is going to be your slower option than the chainsaw. But in an SHTF situation, this won't fail you or has a less of a chance of failing you. So an axe is also something I carry just in case the chainsaw does not work. The next thing I'd like to address on this one is, say you're driving and you're stuck in a ditch you're stuck in a snowbank and you can't get yourself out. So I would recommend a shovel. You never know when you need to dig yourself out. Say you're hauling a trailer like I am right now, and your trailer kind of wears off the road and falls into a ditch. You need to dig it out. It's stuck somehow. So a nice heavy duty shovel is always nice to carry around. And on that note as well, you're going to want to carry a crowbar of some sort also, because you just never know when these are going to come into play and when you're going to need it, just to wedge something out or break something free. It's better to have it than not have it. The next item I like to carry, some people may say it's important, some people will say it's not. It all depends on what happens, but like I always say, it's better to have something than not have it. So the next thing is a sledgehammer. Now this is, say something again is stuck or broken and you need to straighten it out, or you get it unwedged or something. Your sledgehammer will be there to help you regardless. Now again, staying on either being stuck in a snowbank or in a ditch, or just need to be towed out somewhere, I like to carry around. Let me just clean this up. I got one over here, I think. So you're gonna either want a tow rope or a tow chain. This one here is good for 15,000 pounds. I carry actually two of them, so I carry a smaller one here. Obviously I've not used it yet, but I keep this one just as a backup as well, and this is my main go-to one that I use anywhere really. So a couple tow ropes or tow chains, whatever you prefer, that's good. And you're also going to want some sort of shackles to go with that as well, just to attach to a vehicle. Depending on what you are, some vehicles don't have any point of attachment, so a shackle is good to attach depending on the vehicle. You have to assess it at that time, but that's good to carry around. Now out here we have one other issue, is that we're on a lot of dirt roads, and from the near city we're probably 200 plus kilometers away from the near city, and that it's all dirt road. So our chances of getting a flat tire out here is more than likely, and there's a couple ways we like to prevent or minimize the chances of a flat tire. Now carrying a spare tire in the back of the truck is very important, especially in the winter. Last thing you want is to have your spare tire underneath your truck. So keep your spare tire up in the bed of your truck, on top of your vehicle, somewhere very accessible, so that you're not trying to access it in deep snow or in a very awkward situation. Another thing that you can do, and that I carry around, is a tire filler, or what I use it is a tire deflator. Now the reason I like using this one is because it keeps the gauge on it, and what I do is if I'm in the city, I'll inflate my tires back up to normal PSI, which is 60 for the tires I'm currently running on my truck. But once I hit these dirt roads, I like to drop the PSI on the tires down to about 35. That way that they go over the rocks a little nicer, and that you have more traction. So one of these are great to keep with you, and I always have it, so that way once I leave the city and I hit the dirt road, I can just pull over and drop the pressure of all the tires and be on my merry way. Another thing that's great to keep, you probably have them all with the vehicles that you buy these days. However, I find them very cheap, and so I always like to carry my own that I purchase, and that is a jack. And this one is a bottle jack. that I carry around. It's meant for 4 tons, and they're very inexpensive, and I would recommend you carrying one of these in your vehicle just as a backup. Even if you do have the factory one that comes with your vehicle, I recommend you getting a aftermarket one, just because these ones I find a lot better, and it's better to have one just in case the one you have with your vehicle fails, you have a backup as well. And now with that, you're also going to want to take possibly a bunch of sockets and a wrench for your sockets as well. Something nice and long, because I would recommend at least this. I think this is about 18 inches. And the reason you want something nice and long is so that you can snap the bolts off if you're changing a tire, if you do catch a flat, or if there's anything else that you may need to snap off. And depending on your vehicle, a lot of vehicles have the same size of bolts on there, or nuts should I say, but this truck for instance has 2 different types of nuts, so I carry an array of sockets, that way that I'm not sitting there able to only do one set and not the other set. And if you're looking at this one that I'm missing, that's the one I use for my chainsaw in here, so I do have a full set. And I recommend anyone taking a road trip and having to repair their tires that you carry a socket set. Alright, now that we're back, I had to clean up the other set that I'm going to show you here, so sorry about that. Now the next thing I like to carry is a full line of sockets, as well as the deep sockets there for my lug nuts. Is another set of sockets, imperial and metric, just in case you have to work on anything on the engine or on the interior of your vehicle and you need those smaller sockets. This one comes with a wrench itself, and also I can use it as a screwdriver, and it does have the reducer when you are using the smaller sockets, so that's also important to use. Get something that doesn't open up as easily as mine does, and then you're kicking it around and you got to pause the video. The next thing I'd like to talk about is a booster cables. Now this is an old school thing. I know that they have those little booster packs now, or battery packs that you can carry around. I don't have one of those right now. I might get one in the near future just to have one around. However, from what I've realized is they don't make them for diesel trucks right now, and being that this is a diesel, you need a lot of amps to turn over the engine, so you're not really going to get that out of those booster packs from what I gather. So I carry around a set of booster cables. That way I can help someone if someone's stuck on the road, or if someone's coming up and they don't have booster cables, I have some, and we just hook up and go. Another thing is I'd recommend is carrying around a multimeter. Make sure when you do get a multimeter for your vehicle that it also does DC, not just AC. And the way you'll be able to tell on most meters is there'll be a V for volts, and then if it's a sine wave that goes up and down, that's going to be AC, and what you're going to want is DC, and that'll be a solid line or a dotted line that's in a straight line. You won't have the actual sine wave. So that's how you tell the difference between AC and DC on these multimeters. And I'll kind of bring it up here so you can see. So this is my AC, and then the one above is your DC. That's another thing that's good to carry around. And also bolt cutters. You never know what you might need these for. I carry them around. I've needed them once in my life, and it actually wasn't meant for me. It was someone that was stuck on the side of the road. They just came back from the airport, and they locked their cell phone in their luggage, and they've lost their keys for their luggage, and they couldn't access their cell phone in their luggage because they had a lock on it. So I just came around, snapped it off. They were able to access their cell phone, and and call for help or any emergency vehicles that or emergency crews that they needed if they needed anything at that time. But that's also important to have. Now, the other thing I'd like to touch on is maybe a little bit of extra fuel carry around with you. Now, this job box is nice and big that I can fill up this extra 6 liters. You don't need much, so 6 liters will get you, depending on your vehicle, an extra 25 kilometers, and that might be what saves you at the end of the day. So an extra little bit of gas will help out, even if it's even if you're stuck and it's in the winter and you need to keep your vehicle warm and running. You need some fuel. So if you're running low and it's about to hit winter, like dark, and it's going to get really cold, you don't want your vehicle shutting down. So an extra little bit of fuel will keep your vehicle running those extra few hours so that you stay warm until help does come out. Now, the next 2 items are going to depend on your vehicle. So in my case, I have a diesel pickup truck, and anyone out there that carries or has a diesel pickup, they know you have to carry around with you some extra oil. Diesel trucks love oil, and it's important that you carry oil with you at all times, just to top it up. And also, depending on your situation, you might want to use it as a fire starter or some sort of fuel in that sense. But oil is always something I got to carry around to maintain the engine and the oil level in there. And the second thing I like to do is carry around is a fuel conditioner, and this one is by Lucas. I've been using this stuff for years on my gas and my diesel vehicles, including the UTV I have here. It's a fantastic product. This one has injector cleaner in it. It helps you lubricate the engine a lot better and gives you better gas mileage. So this is something that I've always put in, so I keep that engine in tip-top shape, or prevent it from having any buildups and you having any issues with the engine. And that is basically all I have for the outside of the vehicle, just in case something happens with the vehicle. I need to get out of a bad situation. This is what I carry. So the next video I'm going to be doing is the stuff I carry on the inside to keep warm, for medical supplies, any of that stuff, just in case you do have to spend say 24, 48 hours in your vehicle. That'll be on the next video. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you on the next one.